Yo, I'm Drnkie.
I'm TheFlood.
And welcome to the Fortnite update where we talk about all the news, esports, and patch notes related to Fortnite. This is June 20th. It's episode 39 of the podcast. Let's start the show. All right, Flood, we have a brand new patch inside of Fortnite. We're not doing any kind of content patches. This is a full-on big boy patch.
Big boy. Yeah.
And this is a huge one, so get ready to get into it, man, because
I'm excited.
All right, so patch 9.3 was released Tuesday of this week, and let's start talking about the weapons and items. First up, the Chug Splash has been introduced into the game.
Yeah, baby.
Chug Splash is a new healing item that on impact, this thrown item splashes liquid in a small area. All players within the splash radius will be instantly granted 20 health or a shield. Grants health unless you're full health, in which case it will grant the shield. The Chug Splash can heal all allies, enemies, and can extend the duration of a knocked state for knocked players. It comes in rare variants. It drops in stacks of 2, and it has a max stack size of 6. It can be found in floor loot, chests, vending machines, supply drops, and llamas. Big new item. What do you think about the Chug Splash?
Huge new item, like absolutely huge. This is a game-changing, awesome, exciting item. I am so pumped about this. I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm convinced that this is one of the first times that they have nailed it first try. It's amazing. I'm so happy about it.
Yep.
And not only is the item great, but there's so many ancillary benefits that we'll get into. But like right off the hop, okay, so I'm primarily a solo player. Like a lot of the time I'm playing solos. So maybe not quite as good for me, but something like that. Something like that. No, it's amazing because it's instantaneous, and that can't be overstated as how instantaneously you can throw this. If I got 6 of these, I can just go wow, 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 wow. Just like throw them on the ground and boom, I'm instantly healed. It's huge. It's so helpful. In squads, it's amazing how much healing you're doing. I will say that it does. I don't know who you play with, but the memes are pretty funny. You know, splash me, daddy. Anyway, it gets real weird.
Who are you playing with?
I know. A bunch of degenerates. You know what I'm saying? But people get really weird. Oh, you want to get wet? Let's get wet. Anyway, it's so terrible.
What are you guys doing?
So
this
terrible.
Is why keep playing solos, Flood.
This is why I play solos. Yeah, no, it's super fun though. But what I really like about it is it fixes the loot table. We've all been dying for more heals in the loot table. We're just up shield percentages. Well, they didn't. All they needed to do was add this in. Now we've got this in the loot table as well. Yeah. It really makes a huge difference just to have more heals. And again, one of the things that you like to think about is, they need to nerf the heavy sniper because it's a one-shot kill because everyone only has 150 shields. Well, now that's not necessarily the case. Now there's a lot more situations where people might be running around with 155 shields, 160 shields, etc. It offsets that really fixed 100 to 150 shield element that was happening a lot in the game. So I think that's really exciting. I also think this is the first step in a direction that you've been touting forever of having healing items that go all the way up. Just don't let them stop. Why do bandages stop at 75? Let them heal to 100. Why do minis stop at 50? Let them heal to 100, etc. This is the first step in that direction, and it seems like a really good step. Hey, guess what, Drnkie? You were right.
Oh, imagine my shock at me being right. I agree with like everything you're saying. This item is absolutely great for the game. It is a very well designed item. It's one of the things like, whenever I carry like meds and stuff in the game, having to split stuff off to give people minis, like it works, but it doesn't feel like a team thing, right? Having this item in like a squad or a duo where like we're healing up together or like I can make plays to heal people up from distance and stuff, it feels like there's this other gameplay mechanic where it feels like we're more of a squad. And this is like something I'm doing for people. Like I feel like I'm like a mercy or something, like healing other people. Because like I have done plays already where like, you know, we're kind of like separated in a fight. I can't get to them, but like I threw a Chug Splash across the way to make sure they got a little bit of heals. Like I love doing stuff like that.
So cool.
You know, I've been very nervous about them touching shields and healing in this game because I besides like the drop rate, I feel like everything's been in a pretty decent place in terms of like the items that we have for what they do.
Healing. Yeah.
This is the first new healing item we've had since the Slurp Juice, which was introduced. Was it Chug Jug? No, Slurp Juice is Chug Jug, which is, you know, either way, we're talking 9-10 months ago is a new healing item.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since they touched or added anything besides like campfires. or like stationary campfires. So I love it.
Or yeah, little spicy things and mushrooms or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this fits. I didn't know that there was a gap, but there was a gap, and this fits perfectly into it. It feels really balanced. It feels like it fits in the stack of importance. It's just they nailed it. They nailed it. I cannot overstate how excited I am that they did this. Like I think they nailed it. It's perfect.
Yeah,
well done.
And like
at least that's my current. Like maybe in a week I'll hate something about it, but right now,
no, this will be
like,
the first item that we don't hate. This is the first item we won't hate in a week. I can already feel it.
I'm
like
blown away by that. Like I'm blown away.
It's like you said, like just let healing, like stop setting these arbitrary limits on what we can heal. Being able to just go up and like, make sure someone's 170 HP instead of 150 is a game changer. It's like we can tank a heavy shot now. Like these things are huge. The only thing I dislike about them, I wish they stacked in 3s or they dropped in 3s instead of 2s. I feel like 2's a little light, and I'm sure they were cautious about this. And I think that has to do with like you, I'm more of a solo player, so 2 drops like 40 health is not crazy good in solos. It's nice here and there, but I would like.
I find as a solo player, I'm more likely to just grab them and use them instantly, and then still have a regular healing slot. Though I like the idea of carrying a stack of 6 of them into like late game fights, because again, that instant throw for instant shields, like it's faster than a mini. That's huge.
Yeah, like a mini is extra 5 health, but it takes.
But that's a good trade-off. You should have that trade-off. I like the fact that I'm having to make that choice is a good thing. Like, yeah, it's impressive. I can't believe how well they nailed this.
Good job, Epic. Welcome to the positive side of Fortnite commentary.
Great job, guys.
Hey, speaking of positive things happening in the game, next up, the shotgun swap delay has been removed. Shotgun cooldowns now only apply when the player is carrying, get this, multiple shotguns, regardless of the shotgun type. From Epic, this is a quality of life change to prevent the swap delay system from interfering with players who do not have multiple shotguns in their inventory. As with all changes, we'll be keeping a close eye on this and make adjustments if necessary. Something I think the entire community has been asking for, I don't know, since season 3.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the negative consequences of this one, Epic. I'm sure there's lots. Yeah. Everyone's excited about this. How did it last this long? That was like this archaic thing that was trying to, like, in their multiple attempts to kill the double pump. This was one of the most archaic pieces of code that they added in once upon a time, and it's still there. Like, what are they doing, guys? Come on. Thank you. You know what? I shouldn't say that. Dude, Epic, you're killing it. So far, we're 2 for 2 right now in this patch. Let's go. Yeah, it just, this game, there's been, ever since they tried to deal with double pumps, there has been a clunkiness in this game that just still remains. And there's still a few things about the clunkiness that goes on, but this is one of the biggest things that made the game just feel not right. In no other game have I ever played that I had a swap delay where I'd have a timer before I could shoot. Like, I've never in my life had something like that in a shooter game. And so it feels good this is gone. The big thing about this, where it's affecting you, is you can take a combat shotgun shot, build a wall, swap back to your combat shotgun, and you don't have a delay time. Like, the fact that you can, just do that and not be... And it might not have hit you every time, but we've all had those moments where you clicked that button.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yep. Dude,
it was the worst. It drove me crazy.
And this
when you play as much as we do, man, that the percentage chance of that happening, it adds up.
Dude, the relics of this code, where they even said that they had to introduce new code into the game to where if you clicked it on accident during the shotgun delay timer going off, it would automatically shoot afterwards, because like it would bug your gun out if you tried to do it before. Like the problems we have had because of this element, like, thank God it's gone, man.
Just get rid of it, and I think everything should, in theory, run smoother, better, faster, stronger. All those things that Daft Punk says. Yep.
All right, next up, they have nerfed the combat shotgun a little bit. The shotgun has been... Oh, I'm sorry, They have reduced the combat shotgun's long-range effectiveness. They reduced the damage at medium distance by 10%, and they reduced the damage at long distance by 20%. The combat shotgun's accuracy uniquely enables players to hit shots from longer distances compared to the other shotguns. However, the damage of those longer ranges was a little higher than desired. What do you think about combat shotgun and this nerf?
It hurts, but it's a good move. It hurts though, because the combat shotgun was just such an animal. Like it's such an animal. That's why we all miss it all the time. The accuracy is great. It's a skill based shot. Like you when you hit those pellets, they hurt, and it was working remarkably well from remarkably long distances. Like there was a lot of times when I did not swap out of my combat shotgun when someone was trying to slipstream away, even though they're at a distance that I should not be using a shotgun, because it still hit hard enough that it was worth it. You know, and it probably needed
like 15, 20, you know, that as fast as that thing shot, like those add up.
I want to know exactly what medium distance means, because
I got you.
That's going to be a weird line, I think, where I'm going to think that it's medium I think it's close, but it's not. It's medium, and I'm going to be a little disappointed in the damage.
Is 2.44 tiles to 4.88 tiles.
Yeah, 2.4 tiles that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, that feels like medium distance. I guess that's about right.
Yeah, and then long distance is 4.8 to 9.7.
I feel like medium needs a little longer on the higher. Like it should be up to like 6 tiles or 5 tiles or something. Okay. I don't know, just a little bit, just a touch for me. Anyway, whatever.
For me, I absolutely love this change, man. One of the things that I have been hating about this meta is the lack of AR usage. You know, I would basically, my AR would be really long shots, but if I'm trying to use AR against like someone's combat shotgun in like a medium range fight, like there's no way I can keep up. So I enjoy that. Like yesterday when I was playing the game, I was able to use my AR a lot more in fights. When people were running up at me, it felt better to use AR, even though in older situations like the combat shotgun would be better. I would still want to use AR because like it just felt good. I'm a shooter. I have a good shot. I use low sense. Like I love lasering people, and I miss that. And I'm glad that this is back, or like it shifted a little bit back into the meta.
If you're keeping track now, Epic, 3 for 3. We're on board, baby. Let's go. You are killing it. You are killing it, Epic. Let's go.
You guys got the Fortnite update this week, baby. We're not even done yet. All right, let's talk about some vaulting that has happened. Let's go. There's 3 huge vaults this patch, but let's go through them like individually. All right. First up, we're gonna start with the Dynamite being vaulted. Dynamite no longer in the game. This is something that got introduced in season 5 and used to be really strong. Now it's just gone all together. How do you feel about Dynamite?
It's great. It's fantastic. Fantastic. This item, you know, every now and again it was fun to lob Dynamite when you were the guy lobbing Dynamite, and but every time I did it, honestly, and I got the knock, I felt like a jerk every single time I did it. I was like, oh, look at the damage. I'm a jerk. But like it was kind of fun. But like every time that happened again, so you're like, oh god damn Dynamite, right? It's just such a frustrating. Explosive items in this game in general are always a problem. Like every single one of them. There's never been one where everyone's been like, this is super balanced. I like it. It just doesn't exist. And this one, it was a particularly strangely powerful one in weird situations and unexpected, because it's not something you commonly carry, but every now and again it comes out and you're like, oh god, Dynamite. So I'm pumped.
Yeah, I love that this one is gone. The amount of destructive power it had, I think you could carry him in stacks of 9.
It was crazy.
That's a lot of really fast grenades being thrown out. So if you were in competitive games like arena and stuff, people on high ground throwing down dynamites, being able to knock out like large swatches of build, just like the width of the builds that would get knocked out was like shocking for this. Dynamite's something I never really liked the way it worked ever. I wish they would have, the way it was described, I thought it was going to be a more vertical destruction than anything, but it ended up being wider than it was tall. And you remember when it was first introduced, like back in the day, when it would take like 3 of them and you can knock down like almost any building in Tilted, like clear out. Like
you'd walk through Tilted and it would just be gone because everyone was playing with Dynamite. Yeah,
like these used to rip. So I'm glad when they nerfed it. I'm glad that they're gone for good. I never enjoyed the audio sound. I always had a problem like trying to like figure out where they were and where they're being placed or being thrown at. The only thing I am going to miss about the Dynamite, I wish you could do this with grenades. I like that you could cook it. Cooking the Dynamite was something that like not a lot of people really got into, but if you did it right, it felt so satisfying.
Yeah, I loved throwing one Dynamite and then cooking the second.
Yeah.
Waiting, because as soon as that one blows up and opens the door, boom. You know, that was fun, and it felt like it mildly skill-based because you did something special. You had to think about it a little. Like, it was fun. Yeah, whatever. Good riddance.
All right, next up, they have vaulted the dual pistols. These were introduced back when they vaulted the 6-shooter in season 6, I think. The dual pistols, man, they're gone. It feels like a brief stint for them.
This one gives me pause. This is the only one that gives me pause, and only minor pause, because I kind of like the dual pistols sometimes. Like,
yeah.
Man, when you're hitting with those, you just feel like a lord. It's so much fun.
Yes.
And honestly, in a world where the combat shotgun, for example, is the go-to, like, you need a combat shotgun. It is the game. That is so much of the meta right now. And with that reduced drop rate, sometimes I was throwing the dualies in my shotgun slot. That was my shotgun, and it was working because it slaps.
I was definitely wanting to take like dual pistols over like a gray tack,
A gray tack, yeah. And no one wants the gray tack, so I'll take dualies all day. So I'm a little sad to see these ones go. Plus, they're fun. There's something inherently weirdly fun about them, but they are outclassed by basically almost everything. In theory, I guess. Because I do drop them for almost eventually everything, but
yeah,
they are fun though, man. There's days when I'm using those instead of my AR. There's days I'm using them instead of my shotgun, and I'm just like, yeah, we're slapping with these today.
My problem with dual pistols is like on both sides, like offensively and defensively. Every gun in Fortnite, when I see someone using a certain gun, I know how much damage I should expect to take, right? I'm like, I know they're going to do at least this much damage. I can put myself out there this much. And in this meta of like spam meta where like you're basically trading damage, I always hated going up against dual pistol because I never knew how much damage it was going to do. They're either going to do 40 or they were going to do like 163 like to my face. Like, and I'm just instantly like, I just never knew what to expect. Like 88 damage for like a headshot is nuts. So if they connected both, like it just, I never knew what to expect. So I hated going up against them. And then for some reason, like they almost felt as inconsistent as an SMG, but not. Like I can never dial it in.
There was also something where their rhythm was different for breaking walls than anything else. So I felt like I could just tear through walls in a way that people didn't. I don't know. Somehow it threw them off just because of the rhythm of the shots was a little bit different than anything else, and they're not used to it. They're fun. I don't know. They were fun. So this is the first thing we've had in this patch where I'm like, but it's a minor pain point.
I'm only sad because I thought for a brief moment that when we were juggling all the shotguns around at the beginning of the season that there might be a chance for the double barrel to come back, the double barrel shotgun. And my old loadout used to be double barrel shotgun and dual pistols. I used to run that like crazy. And I just like,
dude, I
wanted that for a brief moment. I wanted to go back to that meta because like I feel like that's a loadout that I kind of figured out on my own. I was like, man, like I could just like open up with these double barrels and like if I get 44 with the dual pistol, like we're crushing people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I wish they would have stayed in for that chance. I'll never have it again.
And I mean, if they're gone, like I don't want more regular pistols showing up in the loot pool. I don't want more compact SMGs showing up in the loot pool. Like I'd rather those take up that part of the loot pool, the dual pistols, than those two items. So
yeah, there seems to be from the leak files that there's another pistol coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's like a crazy looking revolver. So maybe this is a thing where they're trying to preempt that. I don't think that they like to necessarily flip items anymore. They usually vault a couple of weeks before they introduce something new, so it doesn't feel like we're trading anymore. Because I feel like they get more negative responses. So I think there is a new pistol coming. And
I saw a leak on that too.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, next up, probably the most minor vaulting of the season, and probably 9 seasons. The Boombo has been finally vaulted. No longer can you deal 100 damage.
What's a Boombo?
A Boombo? The Boombo is Boombo? Boombo. Bombao. How do you say
I know it?
No. Oh.
I don't think I know the Boombo.
Well, okay. I guess we'll move on. What do you think about the Boombo finally being vaulted, jerk?
Hell yes. Hell yes. Are you joking? This item was a meme item all the way through and through, beginning to end. It was a meme. It was hilarious to balloon. Remember those? Ballooning around with the Boombo was such a joke. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. I did it. It was great. It was a blast. But the Boombo's a joke. And the moment that they vaulted it in an LTM and caused an outrage because they were like, we don't want multiple different loot pools, but the LTM had no Boombo, but the arena did. It was like a joke. So getting rid of it altogether, smart move, Epic. It's really strong. If you happen to get lucky enough to land on a Boombo, you kill the guy next to you. Boom. You just do. Unless you're really, really bad at shooting. But like, Boombo's it's got a line. You can see where it's going.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit for 100. They are dead. Like they're just dead. Like it's auto hit. So,
Dude,
I mean, RPGs are kind of similar, but they don't usually find floor loot. So there's a difference. I don't know.
And like, you know, the RPG kind of has a, you know, if it's being shot from distance, you have time to hear it.
Yeah.
If someone pulls out an RPG, you can hear it kind of click into place. This thing didn't really have a pullout sound.
Yeah.
And, you know, RPGs had 3 shots on drop, where this is like shotgun ammo, which is everywhere.
Now, granted, if you land on a sniper, you land on that heavy sniper or like whatever, you can one shot me right off the hop too. But at least you had to hit your shot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like with the boombo, it doesn't feel like you had to hit your shot.
Exactly.
You just got to kill me automatically, and it's baloney.
The boombo, I thought its damage was always like mixed up from the jump. The boombo would do 15 damage directly to the body and then 100 splash damage. So you could just hit near somebody, you know, pretty close to him, but like it wasn't a wide splash damage, but you wouldn't have to hit him to actually do 100 in damage. You would do 115 for a direct hit. I always felt like that was like a little bit flipped. I always felt like not 15, but like, you know, maybe a body shot with a boombo would do like 75 damage and then be 50 explosive damage. I thought they always had that backwards.
Agreed.
And it's like you said, the line.
There's a line. You're not going to miss that shot, or you shouldn't.
No, and like we know it took a while to program this. A lot of these things feel like they stay in the game because people took time to create these systems, and then like there's some developer who has to justify the money he spent on his development team to his manager, and like that's why they won't ever let these things get vaulted.
And they like the idea of it. Oh, it's different. We like the idea of a bow. It's differentiating in other games. It's like I get being attached to it emotionally as a developer because it seems fun and different and quirky, but there was something wrong with it, and you guys weren't fixing whatever was wrong with it. So, bye.
Later. Dude, I would never, when you're just running around and you get hit by a boombo, it felt so disheartening because you have no chance to figure that out. Like
every time it happened, I'm like, oh yeah, boombo.
I don't even know where I got shot from. At least I get sniped, I get hit for like 100 or 150. I know what directions the snipe was in. Most of the time, I would have no idea where the boombo was fired from. That thing was silent, bro.
Yeah, which is, again, a neat idea, like the idea of the silence mechanic, and it's a stealthy item. But if it's going to be that, like, you need to nerf it down a bit so it's not as overpowered. Like,
Oh, and then like there'd be tracer. Like, this thing had no tracer. It's ridiculous. All right, so that's all the vaulted items. So I think it's pretty good vaulting, man. You know,
dude. Overall, yeah. Like pour one out for my dualies, but other than that, whatever.
Yeah, we're looking good. All right, let's talk about some other changes.
Wait, is that 444? Are we 444?
We are 444.
Because I'm gonna call that a positive still.
Yeah, positive.
I'm still with you on this one, Epic.
Yeah.
Like largely overall, top tier.
I mean, at least they're not like vaulting something like the pump. You know, that would never happen. All right. Probably the biggest thing in the weapons and items patch that's most frustrating, they have removed the ability to ride proximity or grenade launcher projectiles. I just feel like we're in a different company, dude. I feel like we're in a different company. Because remember the original Rocket Ride? If that came out today, if that was discovered today, they would do the same thing. What happened, bro? What happened? This is like the fun team, the fun dev team.
The fun dev team is out, I guess. I don't know what's going on, but I'm into it. I'm excited. We don't need to be riding proximity grenade launchers. We don't need proximity grenade launchers, in my humble opinion. But I'm down with this. Get rid of that. That's silly. It's silly.
Their justification is due to the faster speed of this projectile is causing problems with level streaming. You can still ride rockets launched from rocket launchers. I don't know what level streaming is, but whenever they just throw out terms like this and they don't explain it, you know, it just feels like corporate jargon, you know, to try and explain themselves with something that isn't the real reason.
I think it means maybe the level, like the actual map, wasn't loading in front of the guy because it was going too fast.
Whatever. You know, we had
I don't know.
guided missiles used to go pretty fast, right?
No,
like
they're pretty slow.
Once they cranked up, like it would start slow, and like
maybe these ones are faster. I don't know. I think it's probably a made up excuse, but
that's fast.
It's probably a made up excuse, bro.
That's what I'm saying. All right, never mind.
Yeah, I feel you on this one. Made up excuse, but let's just get rid of those stupid launchers anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
I hate them. They're stupid.
All right, they added a short delay to start damaging players from the storm flip item on entry to mimic the normal storm gameplay. I don't know if you caught this, but it felt pretty bad.
Okay, so it used to hit you like instantly. The moment you were touching that storm, you were taking the damage, as opposed to with a regular storm where you can kind of dip in and out real quick.
Yep. And I think the problem with this was not a lot of people played later game with these unless you're like an arena, right? And so you didn't know it was a problem. I remember one early game I was playing squads, this got thrown, and I was trying to like get away from it. And so I went in and out of it, and like 20 damage instantly done to me because it was just like boom. This is after the buff where it was like 5 damage. So it was like 5 damage, 5 damage, 5 damage. Like,
yeah, that hurts. And like if you've got a mechanic like a storm, the storm always has to be the storm. Like it always needs to work the way the storm does.
Yep.
On that note, though, how are you finding the storm flip? Week 3 or whatever it is for storm flip.
It's still an item that like I don't pick it up. When people use it, it does change the fight. It is nice, but in my games, I don't see the big advantage of them. In competitive, I do, but they're disabling it for all competitive stuff. So I don't.
It just seems like such a like every now and again, I'm like, oh, there's one that happens to be. I know there's one beside me in that house that I didn't pick up, and now there's a fight here that maybe I could use it. So I'll go grab it, throw it. Yeah. Refill that item slot. It's really not worth the item slot for me. I don't know.
And I don't know if they're going to talk about this later in the patch. I'm sure it's somewhere, but they did change the visual effects on it to where it is now like a red outline instead of like the storm outline. So hopefully, you're
that helps when it gets into more complicated situations.
Exactly. Yeah. You can
which really I still haven't. I rarely see. Like I don't see a lot of scrimmy end games. Like my end games maybe have 7 people or something in solos. So I don't know.
I did have a situation where one of my teammates got downed. I clutched out and picked up a storm off someone else, and while we like the storm was over us, and like it was a big chicken storm, and so like I threw it, I got the revive off, and then we were able to jump head out, and we only took like 15 storm.
That's like where it's key. That is where it is so cool and so clutch and so key. Those situations again as a solo player are few and far between for me, but man, when that happens, what a champion!
Yep,
champion situation.
All right, next up, let's talk about some of the bug fixes and adjustments inside of the weapons and items category. First up. Players could shoot immediately after using a Rift to Go. They could no longer do this. It wasn't even just the player used it. Anybody that was in the Rift to Go that got pulled up, there was a reload bug where you could spam reload, and if you got it right, you could shoot people and basically, get a shotgun shot off in air.
Yeah, there were some crazy clips of people doing it with RPGs, I believe, as I recall.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at any of these in a while, but there was some really buggy, fun stuff people were doing.
So I'm glad that's gone. I think they should just vault the Rift to Go. The Rift to Go is one of my most hated items in the entire game of Fortnite. Has been forever. So thanks.
It's really not as relevant as it once was, especially in the current version of the game. Yeah. Like it's
There's
not
so
really
much mobility now that like you don't need it.
And I get where their arena mode is a different story. Those end games Rift to Go's are pretty powerful.
It's too relevant in arena mode, man. Like it's way too relevant there. I can't stand the item. It shouldn't be instant. At the very least, it shouldn't be an instant use item. You should have to like charge it up or something. It's just, I'm tired of the Rift to Go's. Let's make some more adjustments to them, okay? More adjustments.
All right.
Speaking of adjustments,
let's throw the shotgun timer on it.
Yeah, I'm into it. They have adjusted the area around reboot vans that the players cannot build to prevent the placement of floors and traps under the van. So that was a pretty fun bug. I guess you can't do anymore. Reboot vans, are we like, can they just let us build through them at this point? Like, I'm so tired of like having to drop 200 mats just to build all around it. It just, I hate it, man. Just let us build.
Yeah. I get where it's probably like buggy and weird if they don't do that or something. I don't know. And there's definitely some reboot vans where you can put yourself under the little cone. You know what I mean? Which is fun when you're rebooting. So you can still reboot through your cone, which is cool.
They're so inconsistent because like some of you can do that, some of you can't. Like,
exactly. There's an inconsistency to that is the problem. I think you're right. I think they just have to make it like invisible in terms of building.
Yeah.
I don't know what other problems that creates. Like I feel like there's got to be some weird unintended consequences of doing that, but it would make my life easier and better because I've had build fights where there just happens to be a reboot van there, and I'm like, oh god damn it! Like I can't build. Like, and it totally messes me up because I'm trying to build a wall and I'm too close to a reboot van, so I can't. I'm like, ugh.
And then one of the nicer changes in these bug fixes, reboot cards will no longer fall to the ground. They will remain where they spawned. This is a big problem where reboot things, you just like fall and you should not be able to get to them. So that's a good little change for that.
Yeah. I would like the graphic on the reboot card to be a little bit more. I want them to glow bigger or something. I don't know, because I still struggle finding them sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a nuisance. And like, I know that there's lots of UI cues, but when you're scrambling at a build fight, the countdown timer's at 3 seconds and you're like, where the hell, like you're breaking walls looking for it. It's frustrating sometimes. And I would love there to be something easier about that. And at the same time, the UI element for the countdown timer is a bit big.
Yeah,
It's a bit big. If you're still in the fight and the countdown timers are going, it's pretty invasive, that countdown timer. And I mean, I know why it wants to be, because I've still forgotten about cards, but like, ugh.
Dude, ever since they added like all these like floating panels and plates over people's heads, ever since like Apex kind of did it, I have such a hard time during fights, like shooting at people and stuff, because everything's just like, is there an option to turn? I don't need nameplates over everyone. I just don't. Like, give me an arrow over my teammates and like let me. I just can't see anything long distance.
No, this sounds like we're complaining, but I think patch notes wise, we're still like 6 for 6 or something.
Yeah,
we're
sorry.
killing it.
Look, my bad. I was like, I slipped. We're in positive.
That wasn't that what we weren't complaining about the patch though. We were just suggesting alternative options. Maybe we're offering constructive criticism for the future.
All right,
this patch though, I think we're 6 for 6. Is that I don't know if I've lost count now, but whatever.
No, we're good.
We're killing it. You're killing it, Epic. You're killing it.
Dude, it's only getting better. Next up, they made the hold the swap feature an option. By the way, we're moving on to the gameplay section. This defaults as off. With the off option, pickup is now back to its initial button press instead of button release. This should result in more responsive pickup behaviors. I'm about to tear up, man.
Yeah. It threw me off in the beginning because I was definitely still trying to do the release thing, because I got kind of pseudo trained into doing that, and now I'm doing it wrong again. And yes is the answer. Just thank you,
dude. No one will mess with your muscle memory more than Epic.
Dude, right? Oh.
No, the thing is huge, man. Like, everyone has been asking for easier ways to manage your inventory with running around, which I think, like, a boo-hoo, why don't you get a little bit better at, like, opening your inventory while you're running and managing it that way, whatever. They introduced a hold the swap feature for this, and, like, the looting has felt so clunky and broken ever since. They never got this right. And I don't know why they didn't open this up with an option to turn it off in the beginning. I'm so happy it's here now. But when they introduced the hold the swap feature, they should have had a option to turn it off with launch, man. Like, I being able to pick up an item on the initial button press instead of its release is such a huge change. It's one of those like minute details that in the back of your brain, you don't understand why things aren't happening the right way. Yeah. But now it's good, because guess what? I can just jump up over a ledge, press the button, and it picks up the item right. It's like it's those little things like that.
And those half seconds count, man. Those little split second, half seconds, those count in fights when you're just like scrambling to find a gun right off the hop, or scrambling to find a gun because you're out of ammo, or whatever it is. Like those little moments matter.
Yeah, they really do. All right, next up in the gameplay, they made the Fortnite pressure plate puzzle northwest of the block easier to complete. Now you can park all vehicles on pedestals and it will trigger them except for the hoverboard.
That's very funny. I didn't know that was a thing. That's very funny.
I'm excited for this. I think this is a positive change. I hate that I had to actually group up with people and do this. It was so gross. I had to try and get a random squad to do this. I was aggravated. I know
how much you despise people.
Yes. I knocked like a year off my life because I was getting agitated. I'm like,
I saw the gray hair pop like at the moment you did it.
Oh, you don't gotta say that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to out you. I know you've been just fermenting that one gray hair that you got from that one pressure plate challenge. I'm so sorry for outing you on that one gray hair.
All right. Next up, slipstreams now fade out the visual effects and play audio cues to warn that they are shutting off before the collision and forces are disabled to give players more advanced warning. More iteration on this.
Yeah. It's funny that it needs this much iteration, but at the same time, that's nice, I guess.
It is nice.
It's a positive change. I just didn't know we needed it.
I didn't either. Oh, here's the thing they talked about. Added storm flip colors, switch effects depending on the storm intersection points. So we were talking about the storm flip grenade being a red bubble. Now, I wonder if, I haven't tested this, but I wonder if you throw it on the edge of a storm, if there's a different color, like a...
Yeah, where it connects, so that way you know which part is real storm, which part is storm flip. I haven't tested this yet either. So, because as I say, we don't really...
I'm going to say it's green. I'm just going to, off the top of my head, shoot from the hip, call it green. Yeah, like it's safe.
I'm excited.
Green. Nice.
I'm going to go with a nice mauve.
A what?
Mauve.
Mauve?
Moab?
What?
Mojave Desert? What?
All right, in the audio section, improvements to grenade launcher and grenade fuse sounds, added a close range fuse loop to attenuate based on a damage radius. This is nice. This is nice.
Yeah, this is really cool, actually.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like you feel like you're farther enough away from a grenade and like it just explodes. You're like, how did that damage me at all? Now there's an audio indicator. Nice.
One of the reasons that I liked the grenade launcher sometimes over the RPG is that it felt a little more random, and people have trouble figuring out where the grenades are. So you can kind of bounce them in weird ways, and you can kind of spam people and trick them a little bit. This will be better for people on the receiving end of that. Like this is a nice little tweak that I unexpected. It's like an unexpected gift. Thank you.
Lower the volume of vehicles in a slipstream that don't have players or passengers. Or
fantastic.
Drivers. I know. You know how many
times fantastic.
I like recoil. I'm like doing like one of these, like, oh God. And I look up, it's just like an empty ball. I'm like, cool.
Dude, like, I don't know who took over. Like, whoever was in charge of everything on this patch, high fives. Like, give them a little bonus, or at least like a pat on the butt, non-sexual harassment kind of way. You know what I mean? But like, goddamn, what a guy or gal. Oh, proud of you. I'm proud of you, whoever you are.
Attaboy. Increase.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Attaboy, a little pat on the back, a little something. You're great.
Increase the range for enemy 1x1 pickaxe impact sounds from 1 tile to 1.5 tiles. This is nice. You can tell that people are starting to come into your box 2 boxes away now.
Mm-hmm. It's just enough that you need that little bit extra. This is again solid change. I do find like they need to up awareness, and this is one of those moves towards it in the complicated build fights of where your enemy is. And I don't want to get into FOVs, but audio has not always been reliable, and it's sometimes it's hard to keep track of people in those complex build fights, and they get complex, guys. They really do. So this is nice.
It is nice, man. Like I think one of the biggest things is, like you said, for FOV, it was like vertical. Like when people are starting to like 1.5 is basically like when people are hitting your pyramid above you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like, I guess this prioritizes it more from distance. So others out, audio. Like I was sharing some clips of old Fortnite with Flood before the podcast today, and like it was just different, man. It was just different.
A different game. The colors, like as you keep pointing out the colors, and you're so right. Like it just looks different.
There's something like wholesome about Fortnite before. Now it's kind of like just a little bit colder, just a little bit bluer. You know,
more clinical. You know.
Yeah. It's like we're playing in a doctor's office now instead of home with mom.
Aw.
All right, that's pretty much it for the patch notes. There's a big new mode called the prop hunt that is in creative. I haven't had a chance to play with it. I don't know if you had.
Neither have I, but everyone's losing their mind about it. Everyone's like, have you played prop hunt? Are we going to play prop hunt? Want to play prop hunt with us? I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm chill.
Well, if you guys are here on the podcast to check out what we think about prop hunt, tune in next week for the Fortnite update, because I have no idea what this mode is about, what to do with it. I'm lost.
By the way, let's talk about last week they had Horde Rush. Did you play Horde Rush? Did you like Horde Rush?
Yeah. I didn't hate it. I thought it was nice. I think it's funner than Save the World because it's simpler. I like the storm moving. It gets a little repetitive for me, you know? It gets a little repetitive. What do you think?
It's a little bit of a grinder, but I can actually see it being really fun as like a squad, like low level. Like I if I was a group of buddies or whatever in junior high, I'd probably play that with my buds. It'd be fun. Like it's like playing zombie mode in COD, you know what I mean? Like there's something there, and it feels kind of like it gets a little bit hectic, so it's kind of fun, and it's almost like an aim trainer, maybe, if the hitboxes were more normal. I don't know. There was something there. Like, I don't usually like LTMs. They lured me in with that wrap, which was a great wrap, by the way, and I'm so glad you extended it, by the way. I was away all weekend. I didn't think I'd get a chance to earn that wrap. I came back. I still had 12 hours. I was like, let's go. So made it happen.
Again for everyone else, please. Now that we see how cool it is in game, can I please get it?
Well,
I just thought it was gonna be like a wrap, so I really didn't care. I was like, whatever, it's just gonna be a wrap. I don't need it. Now I see everyone running around with it, and I'm a little jealous.
Oh, speaking of in-game, man, the dual pickaxes, they're selling more dual pickaxes now.
Yeah.
I need to be able to see what those look like on a character. I hate that they just show me what they are. Like when I'm buying them, it's just on the screen. I need to see that in game.
Yeah.
So I need an example. They need to up their example base in the shop somehow. Cause like there's a couple things I'm like, I kind of want you, but is it going to look good in game? I don't know. Anyway, that's just another thing. And also map changes. There's some map changes I think we got to discuss.
Okay.
The lake got stepped on now by this mysterious monster, Loot Lake, and I know this one hurts you. This is a big pain point.
Two big ones. This is the first one that hurts. I've had 3 drop sites I like to go to. I liked Retail Row, I liked Dusty Divot, and I liked Tilted. They took 2 of those away from me. So I've been dropping Pressure Plant, which is amazing.
Love it.
Dusty, and then the factories at Loot Lake. Those were my main drop spot. Like 90% of the time, because it was central. I loved it. I thought the fighting was really fun there. It was like a simple POI. It's like old factories. It was like the old factories almost, dude. Like 3 buildings with some like flat areas to build. I was pumped up for that thing. And now Epic decided to put a monster foot into it.
Yeah, so we still haven't seen this monster. It was the giant eye in Polar Peak, and now we've got footsteps that just keep crushing things, and more things. Like there was a house in Snobby Shores, and now they've got Loot Lake. So we still don't know where this is going exactly, but it's clearly slowly changing the map, and I guess leading into whatever our big end of the season event will be.
Yeah,
they just prehistoric, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't. It would make sense because we don't know what this thing is going to be. Besides, he has like kind of like chicken feet, you know, kind of like 4 prongs.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a hopefully adorable chicken. Also, another place that they destroyed with this big ass foot, Modern in Pleasant Park, Modern House was destroyed.
Yeah.
Which very frustrating. That was my drop in Pleasant because you know why? You can drop onto a gun.
Yep.
Now that's gone.
Love Modern. Yep. But there's no footprint on Modern though. It's just broken.
Oh.
Right? Like that's what confuses me about that one. I don't know. Anyway, the map is changing and evolving very rapidly, but in like weird and mostly annoying ways, but like I'm eager to see where this is going.
Yeah, it's weird that like we haven't even seen the monster. Like
just that eye.
Yeah, like it would feel like I don't know. It just felt like when we had big map changes before, like we saw Kevin floating around the island forever. Like maybe
I kind of like that this one's more mysterious though. Like I kind of there's something about that.
Ever. Like you don't hear like a big roar in the distance, like
yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's coming. Like it'll start to become looming more and more. Like it's a looming presence right now that's just slowly demolishing our map. Like, what are you going to take from us next? I don't know.
Hopefully he walks his ass all through Tilted and just has a nice dance party for himself.
just roll around on the mall now.
Yeah. Well, maybe find a time machine too while you're at a monster. Do some good.
I love it.
Dude, I miss old Tilted so much, bro.
I know you do. I know you do. I think we need a new Tilted.
I think we just need an old new Tilted.
Maybe.
Like, why don't you just bring back the old buildings with like the futuristic styles that you so love?
No, I don't need the styles. That's fine. Like I don't. Yeah. It's not that I so love them. I just didn't. I thought they were kind of fun, cool, and interesting. It's new. It's different.
Yeah.
It accomplished its goals. But I hate all the arches. There's too many arches that you can't build in. That shit drives me nuts. Just let me build through everything.
Why? They don't want people building this game. You know this.
I know.
No.
Anyway, whatever.
Everything in Neo Tilted is just horrible. The slipstream needs to go. I hope the slipstreams don't stay, bro. I hope they don't stay.
My biggest issue lately has been the platforms. Like how many times are you getting beamed from up there because you're busy focusing on a couple other squads or teams or whatever. I'm noticing it in squads mostly where it really those things can be nightmares, man.
I'm like, how do you get up there? Oh, I gotta go through the slipstream where they can hear me come right up and they know exactly where I am and they're just gonna
then depending on where the circle is, I gotta run all the way into them through an open field. Will they just beam me? Like I've got nothing I can do against them. It's so frustrating sometimes, but I mean, that's part of the game is positioning and making sure you don't get in those situations. So that's on me, Epic. This is not a negative about you. You did great this week.
Good job, Epic. We won't talk about mobility this time, but you better watch out for episode 40 of the Fortnite update because we're coming for the mobility talk next. Oh, before we go, program. Did you watch the program?
I did not. I did not watch the program.
I watched a little bit of it.
How was it?
It was nice. It kind of felt a little bit long at parts.
I was in the 6.
No one knows what that means.
My boy Drizzy does. It's okay.
Okay. Drizzy Drake. Champagne Poppy. The intros to this thing, like first off, they did the creative mode where they had like a King of the Hill type of style game.
Yes.
That thing was a mess to watch, man. Like, I don't know if it's fun to play, but as a spectator, I had no idea what was going on ever. I was just like, I think they're winning. They're dead set on getting that Infinity Blade into the game one way or the other, man. Because like,
that's so funny. It wasn't a mistake. It was planned all along. I swear.
They're dead set. Other than that, the second day it was nice. The competition was fun. When they were introducing the duos, I swear to God, it felt like it took an hour and a half for them to bring everyone out on stage. And I don't know if there's just like no one in production that's like in the meeting before the match. It's like, maybe we should slim this up a little bit. We don't need everyone. Kind of have some fun segments, bring people. I don't know. It just last year it was like a
Yeah, there's got to be a
continuous line.
balance to that. Like, I like the idea of pageantry and making them characters. Like we've talked about this, where we want to make them characters and make them really make me invested. And pageantry is good, but not at the expense of me sitting there for 3 hours or whatever it is, just waiting for a game to start. So,
and it felt like last year Fortnite was just in a different place where the meta hadn't evolved. Even though the pros were like still great at the game, there wasn't this crazy barrier of entry on the building system like there was now. Because it basically looked like the pros just went in and pub stomped on a bunch of people who didn't play the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There wasn't like the skill gap has widened dramatically.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortnite's a very different game, and I don't think there's as many like athletes and stuff playing it at the level that they were. Like it was very popular last year, and everyone the zeitgeist was hyped. But now the game has evolved since then, and I don't know if those guys are still playing the same way they were. And if they are, they definitely don't look as good as they used to. I have no doubt.
No, like last year it was like everyone was sitting in the 1x1s, right? And it's like you could build a 1x1 for your teammate and be like, all right, if you just see someone, shoot him, And now it's a whole different game.
It's a really good example, actually, like in Epic's own face about the disparity and the difference between casual and competitive play. Like it's and not even competitive play, just like regular players, like people who still play a fair bit, ourselves included, and on pro play. Well, you're a pro player. I'm sorry, 3-time retired or whatever.
4.
The disparity is very clear that the skill gap has only gotten out of control. Like if you're a brand new player and you jump into arena, you're gonna be like, what the hell is what? Actually, the first 100 points in arena is easy. But anyway, whatever. One feel good thing from the pro-am.
Points in arena is pretty easy.
Fair enough. Whatever. Okay, so I struggled to get to my 300. Whatever. 295 to 300 was whatever. I
believe in you.
Let's not talk about it anymore. It's whatever. I'm over it. Can't even talk about it. I was gonna say one of the feel good things I liked about the pro-am is I've been following that girl Ewok or Ewoks. I don't know. She's like
having the time of her life, man.
Yeah, and she was posting all the pictures with all the people. She blew up, right? Because she's this. If you guys don't know, she's a deaf girl. She's like 13 years old, and she plays Fortnite better than I do. And was like, I don't know how it ended up happening or coming about, but like Ninja and Dr. Lupo or whatever squatted up with her. And so she kind of blew up a little bit. And anyway, she's out at the pro-am. She plays really, really well. She's awesome. And she's just like having the time of her life. And I don't know what it is with this, but there's like this feel good story. And now apparently there's a leak that there's going to be like a signing emote in Fortnite where someone actually like signs like with American Sign Language.
Oh,
and I don't know. Like, I just think that's really cool. I love that they're embracing her, and I love that they're promoting it, because I think that can only lead to good things, because she seems like there's like this really wholesome story going on that promotes accessibility in video gaming in a way that I don't know. It's warming my heart, at least. I love it. I think she's adorable. She's great.
Love her story. She's great. And the thing about her is there's so many like young guys in this game, right? Who are like young 13-year-old kids, 15-year-olds who like dominate this game, are really good. But they're just as toxic as I am. You know what I mean? They have the same attitude. 100%. So it's so nice to see someone who I'm like, that's how I used to love video games. I used to be that way. So I see her and I'm like, oh, I need, like, it's a lesson learned that I'm like, I need to just enjoy it more. And probably why we're having a nicer podcast, because I just see her, I'm like, man, I'm just old curmudgeon who's a toxic piece of trash, man.
Like, and it's a lot of it, I will say, some of it's on us. A lot of it's probably on us. Epic, you did great this week. Epic, you did great this week.
You did great this week. Other things on the pro-am, the stadium they built there was nuts. It was.
Oh yeah.
It was a round.
I saw some pictures and I saw some things.
2 levels, man. That's so nice, bro. So 50 people on each level. That's crazy in itself. And I'm just gonna say this: I thought they were only using the spectator system for like online events. You know what I mean? That spectator system's gotta go, bro. Just give me the player's like viewpoint. Like, I'm sorry, I need it. I need it.
Yeah. So this is almost a part of the replay mode. In the replay mode, you can go and do cool views and drone views and stuff. That's awesome for making videos. But you know what mode I like to watch how someone play in? Their perspective.
Yes.
That's what I want to see always. Like, I want to see their ammo. I want to see their build. I want to see the whole shebang, because that's what I relate to as a Fortnite player.
I completely agree with you. And like, I think that they're off base. I think that they don't think it matters that we are seeing where someone's crosshair is shooting or not. That's important to me as someone who watches competitive. That's important. That's gonna be
As someone
important
who
to
wants
a
brighter
large.
crosshairs that I
Yeah,
can customize,
I
that's
just
important to me.
I want to see how good Tfue is at aiming. I want to see that in the match. That's why his stream pulls in like 100,000 viewers during the qualifiers, and the main Fortnite channel only pulls in like 15 to 20. It's because we want to see that stuff. We want to
Yeah.
see an accurate representation of what is going on somebody in real time, and like it's just a spectator system. If it's not going to be up to par, it's got to go, man.
And I don't mind like the idea of them pulling out every now and again to show me the scope of a build fight before going
Sure.
back into someone's perspective, or when you're switching between different players. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Use those pullout shots. Like think like filmmakers, man. We need wides, we need mediums, and we need tights. And our tights aren't tights on them.
No.
It's the player view. That's what it is, baby.
Yep.
Get me in there.
So I don't know. Hopefully they tighten it up before World Cup, but that's right around the corner, man. I don't know.
I think they're learning lessons every time. It seems like it.
It's like they're not trying to learn lessons from other people, though. I think that's where my major frustrations come in with them.
Could be it. What do you mean frustrations? You did great, Epic. Great week.
Great job.
Top tier
Epic.
patch. Epic, you're the best. We love you.
Good free event for us to all watch and enjoy. All right, that's going to do it for episode 39 of the Fortnite update. Thank you guys for hanging out. You can find me on twitch.tv/Drnkie and the co-host, TheFlood.
Twitch.tv/TheFlood.
All right, we'll see you guys next week for episode 40. Bye, everybody.